What I got out of bodybuilding was 2 herniated discs, a completely deteriorated disc in my L5S1, which is now bone on bone, which hurts every single day of my life.
Mm.
My elbows are both completely inflamed. My right knee is completely inflamed. My right hip has tendinosis. My neck is completely calcified. I can't really turn all that far. Um, and I got a lot of injuries, and I put in a lot of work. And, I mean, now, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a bigger guy. So obviously I'm not as lean as I need to be, but I think calling that a failure is not accurate, because what I also got from bodybuilding was discipline. And what I got from bodybuilding was friendships. And I got this entire business never would have happened if we didn't lift and spend the time together that we had. I never would have been friends with Trey. I never would have been friends with Matt or David or Joey or any of those guys. And I think a lot of my leadership qualities that I have, yeah, I'm the oldest of 3 boys and all that, sure. But when it came to lifting and being in the gym, everyone looked to me. And it
Mhm.
was like, oh, okay, yeah, Shawn knows, he can figure it out. He can write a workout. He can, if you lift with Shawn, he's going to kick your ass. Like, that's just all there is to it, And it was one of
That's
those
so
things where I was
true.
like, I learned early on, it was like, look, anyone can make anyone tired. Can you make them better? And so I was like, oh shit, now I really have to know this stuff. And if someone's going to ask me about X, Y, and Z, I got to have an answer for them. And so it's like all of that drive and all of that, whatever you want to call it, that came out of that never would have happened if I hadn't first picked up a barbell when I was 16. So
Yeah.
despite the fact that, yeah, I failed and I didn't become Mr. Olympia, it wasn't a failure.
No. And in some ways, I feel like it gives us a sense of purpose because, yeah, bodybuilding wasn't, your calling or my calling, but you found a coach and a teacher in that and a leader in that. And it might not be how you envisioned it to show up, but it showed up in a different way that is much more powerful and impacting than you could have ever imagined, which is pretty cool.
Right. Because, I mean, as much as like, I think the biggest thing about bodybuilding and really fitness and committing to that type of thing
Mhm.
is you will learn more about yourself than you ever thought possible.
That's true.
Because all those hours doing cardio and all those hours in the gym lifting, and not only are you going to have to learn about the subject itself, but you're going to have to learn about yourself and like what hurts, what fits your movement profile biomechanically, what fits for stimulating the muscles for you. Are you more of a this kind of person, more of a this kind of person? Did you do the proper developmental phases to get there, or did you jump right to an advanced lifting routine, which a lot of people do? And it's
Yeah.
like, if you do that, sometimes you got to kind of go back to the drawing board. And I know for me personally, I've gone back to the drawing board a few times and just been like, look, yeah, I'm super strong. Well, I say super strong, like I was okay.
I'd say
But
you're pretty
but
strong.
I'm
I've
pretty
seen you
strong,
like,
but
what did you do? You leg press like over 1,000 pounds. You're gonna correct me like 1,200 or 1,500 or
it
some
was way
shit.
more than that. Yeah.
But it was a lot.
Yeah, so I actually, one of my claim to fames, and Trey was there as we were leg pressing. Oh my god, I want to say it was like 15 or 20 plates a side. It was like probably 1,200 pounds, something like that. And we were doing sets of 100 with that much weight, where we would just start and then just go, okay, do as many as you possibly can, and then we'll drop it and take one plate off, and then you're going to keep going. So like, you take 90 pounds off of 12 or 1,300. Like, obviously you didn't feel that at all.
No.
And I was actually, I think it was like the fourth set. I think we did 20, 50, 50, 100. So I think it was the fourth set. So we were doing stupid work at the time, but granted, this is probably the strongest I've ever been in my entire life.
Mhm.
And I think it was like my third or fourth drop, I racked it. And whenever I was holding the handles and I was bracing, and I turned my head one way or the other, I can't remember where I turned, but my trapezius actually tore the connective tissue on the back of my
Oh
skull,
my
and
god.
I completely blacked out in my left eye. Everything turned green, couldn't see anything, and I had to roll out of the machine. But the thing that's cool about this story is that the environment that, I don't want to take all the credit and say I created, obviously we built it together, but the environment that I created, quote unquote, was that Trey smacked the shit out of me and was like, no, you have to keep going. Like, this is not like, you are not getting out of this machine. I'm like, no, Trey, I'm hurt. Like, he's like, no, keep going. I don't care that your legs hurt. I'm like, it's not my legs. It's like, I'm hurt.
I can't see. I'm
the
seeing
environment that we
colors.
created was one of like, there is no ability to stop, or like Trey and Matt stepped on my neck and I had to level up because of them, and they leveled up because of me.
Yeah.
It was, we pushed each other to new heights, and it was like, that was the environment we were in, was that it was literally like, we didn't even know if one of us was hurt. That's how far shifted into the fitness spectrum we were. So we talk about wellness and balance, like that was out the window at that point.
Oh yeah.